Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 6:30. And I will call our regular meeting of the Burnsville City Council to order. It is our tradition to stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and we invite you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have announcements and one proclamation. Our announcements have to do with all of our upcoming meetings. Regular council meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, April 18th at 6:30 p.m. and Tuesday, May 2nd at 6:30 p.m. We have work sessions scheduled for Tuesday, April 11th at 6:30 p.m. and we have a special work session scheduled for Tuesday, April 25th at 4:30 p.m. and the April 25th meeting is the city manager's performance review, and that will be held in conference room D. All other meetings are held here in the council chambers. And I am going to read the proclamation from that side. Members of the council and community of Burnsville, tonight we are here to honor Anchor Bank that was established in 1967. And as you can see, the council chambers, members of the council and staff is filled with folks from Anchor Bank and Mr. Carl Jones, who is the owner of Anchor Bank. And if some of you remembered 10 years ago, and Mr. Jones and the folks from Anchor Bank were here for the approval of their project in the heart of the city. So, whereas on April 2nd, 2007, Anchor Bank opened its Burnsville branch in the Burnsville heart of the city district, and whereas Anchor Bank Burnsville has been an annual participant in the Burnsville Fire Muster Parade, is involved in the Burnsville Community Foundation, and sponsors youth sports teams, including the Burnsville High school hockey and softball teams. And in September 2016, Anchor Bank Burnsville collected donations for Can Do Canines during the inaugural Minnesota Bankers Association Community Impact Week. Whereas the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce has recognized outstanding Anchor Bank Burnsville employees, including Heather Bierbauer, Chamber Ambassador for 2015, and Steve Bringold, Chamber Ambassador for year 2014. And whereas the Dakota Scott Workforce Development Board acknowledged Anchor Bank Burnsville as an employer of excellence in 2016. And whereas in 2015, Anchor Bank earned the Community Leadership Award for its history of community involvement in support of local food shelves and 360 community programs. Whereas the city of Burnsville is proud to have Anchor Bank as one of its corporate residents, now therefore be it resolved that I, Elizabeth Couts, Mayor of the city of Burnsville, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim April 2017 Anchor Bank's 50th anniversary. We celebrate 10 years of community partnership with the Burnsville branch and call upon the residents of Burnsville to celebrate the milestone of this valuable business in our community, proclaimed this 4th day of April 2017. And Mr. Jones, if you would come up, please, we would like to give you the proclamation, and you can hang it in the bank
Thank
here
you
in
very
Burnsville.
much.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
And we really appreciate the partnership, and thank you so much for choosing Burnsville 10 years ago.
Thanks.
Would you like to speak to the community?
If I could.
Yes.
say just-
And then maybe, did you want pictures Okay, so why don't we? I know this. So, here we go. Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Bring the whole
council,
group up.
why
Bring the
don't
whole
we
group up.
do it over here so the
Yeah, the
council
whole
can
group.
be.
Do you want to bring the Anchor Bank folks
All the
up?
people.
Yeah.
Should bring all,
This
big
way,
group.
and we'll, yeah,
big-
and you're, yeah, and we'll get one with their staff.
That's it, I suppose. Thought we had to stand or we'd be behind them.
So how about if we have all of the wonderful staff members, and if they can come and, right? Yeah, stand,
Now we
stand right here, like both of us, the council will be behind, and Heather and Geraldine, Michelle, all stand. Yeah, this is honoring, yeah, so.
One, two, three. Let's do one more. One, two, three. And hold there for two. Now here comes the real.
Yeah.
Weak, no, back spasm,
Oh, geez, man.
yeah.
Thank you, Mayor Hart, council and council members. I am honored to be here. You know, I am Carl Jones, the CEO for Anchor Bank. And 50 years ago, my father acquired his first bank in Wayzata, which was a $1.7 million institution. And he wanted to make a difference. And he believed that if the community succeeded and if the bank employees were involved in their communities, then the bank would succeed. And it's a simple philosophy, but I think it's proved very, very true over time. And our Burnsville team and the rest of the Anchor folks, as you know, are very involved with their communities, and it is one of the hallmarks, I think, of Anchor and one of the things that has driven us to success. So your proclamation talks to some of those successes. I appreciate that. Today we have 16 locations in this metro area. We have one more location in Mankato. We've grown from that $1.7 million in assets to over $2 billion in assets. And we succeed because your communities succeed. And I want to thank you for your success. We're delighted to be a part of it. So thank you very much.
And also, Mr. Jones, I see all women.
And I see talent.
And that's wonderful talent. Now, that's
Good comeback.
great talent, women talent. All right, wonderful.
We have them, guys.
Yes, I know you do. But tonight, who shows up?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carl.
You do have one guy in the back. Way in the back.
I think it's fine.
Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is citizens' comments. This is the opportunity for anyone in the audience to address the council on an item that is not on the printed agenda and not an application form that will be coming before us at a future date. Is there anyone who wishes to address the council? Anyone? Seeing no one, I will move on. The next is the additions to the final agenda, and this is for emergency items only. Ms. Johnston, any emergencies?
And then from staff, Madam Mayor.
Nothing from the legislature?
Nothing we can address here tonight.
Members of the council, Any emergency items? All right, we'll proceed. The next is the consent agenda. The consent agenda is a group of items that's considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. However, an item can be removed from the consent agenda for a separate discussion and vote. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes an item to be removed for a separate discussion and vote? Anyone? Seeing no one. Ms. Johnston, anything from staff?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Members of the council? May I have a motion to adopt, please?
Move to approve. Second.
Councilmember Keely made the motion, second by Councilmember Gustafson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and the motion carries. We are at the regular agenda, and the first item on the regular agenda is a public hearing. And this is a resolution adopting the assessments in the second half of 2016 code enforcement charges. Chris Forsland, our code enforcement and licensing coordinator, is presenting this evening. Mr. Forsland.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members. Tonight, we have the public hearing, as we just stated, for the second half 2016 code enforcement assessment charges. This would be the period from, glasses off here, from July 1st to the end of the year, December 31st. And the code enforcement charges are a couple different things. They may be for lawn mowing, exterior storage, parking on grass, very similar in nature to that. These are typically actual charges, which are the cost of doing the work, as well as staff time. This year, what we did following our process and our policy was we sent notices out to all affected property owners in February 28th and again on March 3rd. We also had our open house where any of the affected parties could come in and discuss and perhaps resolve some of the code enforcement issues that we had. We called a public hearing on March 21st and set that to occur tonight. And this year, or this time, or time period, our total assessments for this period are $5,727. And we recommend that council adopt the assessment rolls as proposed.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Forsland? Mr. Forsland, did you say to approve 5,000?
5,727, that's less than what we
The-
had on
on the-
publication. We've had people
I'll come in and pay.
come in and pay, and it may still
So
drop
over-
even more.
So already $2,000 were taken off.
Correct.
Yeah, so because when the backgrounds were sent, it was 7,841.
Correct.
Very nice. Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Forsland? Seeing none, then, council, this is a public hearing. I will now open the public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to this item? Anyone who wishes to speak? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Members of the council, I need a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Councilmember Coughlin makes the motion.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Keely. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. And the motion carries. Thank you. I will now recess the Burnsville City Council meeting so the Economic Development Authority meeting can convene. President Keely.
Oops. Runaway pen. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll now convene the Burnsville Economic Development Authority meeting. Note for the record, we have all commissioners present. On the agenda tonight, we have approval of minutes from Marcy 7th, 2017. It says, I'm just having fun with a little typo. March 7th, 2017 says Marcy. Any questions, comments on their minutes? Needing a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Commissioner Coughlin.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Couts. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. And it passes. Next on our, oh, I'm sorry, that was consent. I apologize.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I apologize. Mr. Jamnik, how will I procedurally correct splitting the consent agenda?
You approve the agenda, is what you just did.
Yeah, just go to, there are no
You can go-
additions.
you can go to everything on
No
the agenda
additions
now.
to the final agenda.
Right, there we go.
Yeah. and then go on to
Now,
consent.
We're on
Just-
to our
yeah.
consent agenda. I apologize. A consent agenda tonight has our minutes from Marcy 7th and also authorized payment for greater MSP membership. Do we have any items to be pulled from the consent?
I would like to pull item B, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Gustafson. Item B, authorized payment for greater MSP membership will be pulled. Do I have a motion for the approval of minutes?
Motion for approval.
Se-
Motion by, I feel like we just did this, Commissioner Coughlin, second by Commissioner Couts. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and the motion approved. On to authorize payment for membership in greater MSP, Commissioner Gustafson.
The reason I pulled this, I was here on council when we first began with Greater MSP, and I think it's a good idea. I was a bit concerned when I read the background that we haven't seen a return on the investment on this as of yet. And I know you can't always measure what return is sometimes in a building, but I would like to table this for a work session and have Greater MSP come in and explain to us what they do, how many touches they have to the city of Burnsville, their light touch, medium touch sort of thing. It's not unusual. A lot of the cities are doing this right now. I know some of the metro cities have done it. Our own county has also pulled this and asked Greater MSP to come in and present to them, and they haven't voted on it yet. And so I would like to have a discussion right now and table this to a work session so we can have that done.
Thank you, Commissioner Gustafson. Any other comments? I can't disagree. I think this is a good check-in point. This is the sixth year we have yet, as our background notes, to have a project specifically for Burnsville, but when I remember when this was first presented and we opted in to become members of Greater MSP, we weren't necessarily looking for an immediate construction project or something brought back to Burnsville, but we were part of a bigger economic development campaign and effort within the entire Twin Cities area. But at some point, at the 5-year mark, which would be a good check-in, and it looks like this will be the 6-year mark, it is good for us to hear from them firsthand, and I think it's a great idea. Thank you, Commissioner Gustafson. So with that, if there's any other comments, I'll entertain a motion to
Yeah.
continue.
The only other comment that I have is that
Yes, sorry.
it's a great activity for us to continue to touch bases with Greater MSP. And if we just remember, and Councilmember Gustafson, Commissioner Gustafson, you noted that, this was also during the recession. And the other is that we in Burnsville are built out, and we were trying to stage up. So there were things that we needed to do, such as do some soils correction and other things. So it is a good time for us to have that kind of conversation about what's going on within the region. So you made the motion, and I'll second that.
I'll second.
Well, we'll have Commissioner Schultz second.
Motion by Commissioner Gustafson, second by Commissioner Schultz on continuing this item for a future presentation by Greater MSP to the EDA. All in
Should
favor?
be, I think probably we should do it to the next work
Want to
session.
do it at a
Yeah,
council
because
work
then
session?
it'll come back, and then we can do this.
Sure.
A work session.
A future work session to be defined, correct? To be determined.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's very, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Thank you very much. We have no other regular items. I need a motion to adjourn the
Motion to adjourn.
EDA.
The EDA.
Motion by Commissioner Coughlin, seconded by Commissioner
Yes.
Couts. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the motion carries. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Turn the meeting back over to you.
Thank you. I will now reconvene the Burnsville City Council meeting, and members of the council and our viewers at home, there are no other items to come before the body this evening, and a motion to adjourn is in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Councilmember Coughlin makes a motion, second by Councilmember Keeley. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and the motion carries. Good night, and thank you for being with us.